guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we're going to do another one of the red zone no item sweeps. Today we're using the GINYU team. Well, I mean, this is less of the actual GINYU team and more just, terrifying conquerors. But we're using the GINYU force, right, to go ahead and do the red zone no item sweep for the Dragon Ball Hero red zone. Now, this first fight, Cooler, I mean, he could be tough, right? Golden Cooler. He does just pretty much do damage, but it's not. I don't know. Like GINYU should be okay against like a type disadvantage boss like this, right? GINYU. There's many characters out now that are better than GINYU, but GINYU is still very good, right? Like it's not like GINYU all of a sudden sucks. It's just that there's better characters that have released. So I'm not really too scared about GINYU against type disadvantage. He should be fine. I decided to try out Garlic Jr. rather than Jason Birder. Just because then Garlic Jr. could get the full support is going to hit the whole team. Remember, Jason Birder, I mean, if GINYU's on rotation, they'll give support to the whole rotation, but Garlic Jr.'s just baseline support is for everyone. And remember, I mean, it's the biggest stupidness, for these characters, but Golden Frieza and Metal Cooler, for some reason no one knows, they are not on Space Traveling Warriors. So what that means is whatchamacallit will not support them. Jason Birder. When I probably should have just brought Jason Birder, but Garlic Jr. He's a different character, right? We are taking a little bit of damage, but most of these characters do build up, right? As the fight goes on, we're going to get stronger and stronger, and really be in a much better position to actually win. I don't think this fight was really too tough. I mean, it's a matter of just hope that GINYU doesn't get supered, basically. Remember that final form Cooler is probably going to be, we're probably going to see him at a much weaker state in this, run than we normally would, unless Metal Cooler or Garlic Jr. are actually next to him, right? Remember, Metal Cooler and Garlic Jr. both link up very well with Final Form Cooler, and then, of course, Garlic Jr. is giving them the support. Right here, okay, so right here, this is a good turn for Final Form Cooler, right? We have, does he have 7 out of 7 activated here? Actually, I think Final Form Cooler might have 7 out of 7 active on this turn. So that's good. But yeah, Golden Cooler really wasn't too bad of a fight, for sure. Alright, now we're moving on to the fight against Fu. Fu potentially could be tough for, other teams, but with this team, we should be good to go. All we really would need is, one rotation, where, Final Form Cooler doesn't get sealed, or Metal Cooler doesn't get sealed, right? And we should be good. Remember that in the second phase against Super Fu does have that sealing ability of his, which certainly could be annoying for some of these characters, right? Like, remember, GINYU is stacking up, right? You know, we have characters that don't sort of want to get affected by these abilities that they could get affected by in here, but I think for the most part, we probably should be A-okay. Even though Fu as a fight can be tough, I mean, a lot of it depends, again, on who he seals and when he seals. But I like our chances. The GINYU Force team is strong, right? And the Worldwide Download Celebration, you know, I mean, Golden Frieza, Final Form Cooler, LR Metal Cooler. I mean, we had 3 summonable LRs added to Terrifying Conquerors in a pretty short time frame, which just allows us to potentially cook. Not really a great rotation there from Final Form Cooler, but it's all good. I mean, that's him. That's what no Big Bad Bosses looks like, essentially. But there's the Fu fight. Again, I don't know that there's really too much to say about this one. Fu, you know, difficulty with Fu lies in what is going to happen when he decides to seal your characters, right? That's where this fight can kind of, you know, be a little bit difficult. But if we're able to make it through that, you know, with characters who don't get cucked too much from a ceiling, then we potentially, you know, will be good to go. Guys, now moving on to the Cumber fight. Now, while the Cumber fight is certainly the hardest fight of all 3 in the Heroes Red Zone, the GINYU Force team and a lot of the characters we use are actually in a much better position. Plus, it looks like we have some really good opening rotations. But these characters are in a much better position in the Cumber fight than they are in the earlier fights. Because, I mean, the first 2 fights more so I feel like resemble kind of like the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone style, where, like, you know, they just come out of the gate hitting very hard, and then you just have a second phase. Well, here against Cumber, we have 3 phases, right? And the last 2 phases can take a couple of turns, potentially. So characters like GINYU, EZA SDR Cooler, Final Form Cooler, right? Like, all these characters that, you know, sort of build up and get stronger as the fight goes on, we're able to get them closer to their peak performance before we get to, like, the hardest phase, which, of course, is Physical Cumber here. Now, I don't really think, like, with the team build we're having, we're going to run into any issues. It's, only Ginyu would really die. I mean, Metal Cooler would potentially die being supered by Physical Cumber, but, I mean, Metal Cooler would have the revive for the first time, right? So the only real way that we're pretty much going to die, I think, from Cumber would be if Captain Ginyu would get caught and get supered. But, you know, this fight can go on long enough that we're probably going to build up to a point where we are completely good to go anyway by the time we reach Physical Cumber. You know, Great Ape Cumber, for some teams, has been known to potentially give me a little bit of issues or, you know, be able to do a little bit of damage, the AGL Great Ape Cumber, but, I mean, I don't think we're going to have difficulties with him here. Both Coolers potentially could take damage from AoE Cumber. Easy A Cooler, especially next turn, could, you know, possibly get cooked a little bit. But it just, the Ginyu team is strong enough, right? Like, it does feel like there's a huge difference to me between using, you know, like the like Ginyu, like double Ginyu compared to like double Resurrection F Blue Goku and Vegeta, or like double AGL Cell or something like that. Like this just, it just feels so much more comfortable. Even though Ginyu is not, you know, linking up with a lot of the best options on his team anymore, you know, again, Golden Frieza, Final Form Cooler, Golden Cooler, it's like Ginyu is still strong, right? He still can triple super, he's still stacking up and building up, so we're in a pretty good spot. Easy A Cooler, you know, this is good rotation next to Metal Cooler, so he has a lot of his links active, so he is safe as well. STR Easy A Cooler, so that's really good. Remember that when Great Ape Cumber supers, there's a nullification, lovely. But remember when Great Ape Cumber supers, he does get an attack buff after that. So it, you know, it's good that he doesn't super right away and then, you know, do a bunch of Great Ape normals, which potentially could do a little bit more damage. But I mean, as you guys saw from that rotation, we were completely good. So there we go. There is the fight against Cumber. By the way, I leave Ginyu in slot 1 right there because based off of where Cumber supered last turn, I feel like if Cumber's going to super attack on this turn, it's going to be in the middle slot or he's not supering at all. So I felt comfortable putting my Ginyu in slot 1. And then again, if there's going to be a super attack here, it would be in slot 2. And we see that slot 3 just has a Great Ape normal, so it's not going to be a super attack in slot 3 as well. But there is the Cumber fight. This was very, very easy with the Ginyu team. I think all of these were just one try, very easy, very effortless wins. Ginyu is still a powerful unit. I mean, running like a full Ginyu Force team is certainly not going to be as good as including like Golden Frieza and Metal Cooler and Final Form Cooler and stuff like that. But again, Ginyu is no slouch. I would definitely not say Ginyu has, you know, fallen off a cliff or anything like that. Him and Raccoon and Goldo, they still do feel quite powerful. So let me know what you guys think. The Ginyu Force team, no item red zone sweep against the Dragon Ball Hero Red Zone. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.